This video is an additional video for section 2.3 to cover some of the more kind of obscure questions that are encountered in there. So we're going to begin looking at question 5, and besides the fact that it has a parenthesis, the other part that's a little disconcerting about question 5 is that it contains decimals. And there's a technique that we can use to help get rid of decimals. Just to kind of take a look here, that if we have a number that is written as like 0.2, if I want to get rid of the decimal with it, I can multiply that by 10, because that's something to the nearest tenth, that'll equal 2. If I have a number that's like going to be 0.07, is I can multiply something like that by 100, and that's going to become 7. In this particular problem, it seems like we've got a number of decimals, like 0.02 here, 0.1 here, 0.08 here, and 0.2 here. We have a number of problems where the decimals are going to be written out to the nearest hundredth and nearest tenth. So let's go ahead and write this out. 0.02 times y minus 6 plus 0.10y equals 0.08y minus 0.2. So what I'm going to do with this is, I see this is the two decimal places, this is the two decimal places, this is the 1, this is the 2. I'm counting this whole thing as like one expression here, or not one expression, but one term, if you will. I'm waiting to see the plus sign. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to multiply this, this, and this, my sum power of 10. If we have like one decimal in all these, I can multiply by just 10. But what I'm going to do in this case, I'm going to multiply everything through by 100.
Attention students.
My apologies.
Nicole Hudson is by you or near you, please enter the attendance office. Nicole Hudson, can you please come to the attendance office?
Yeah, so I put these videos together over my lunchtime at work, so hence you'll have to put up the announcements from time to time. My apologies. So now if I multiply 100 times 2, by 0.02, I'm going to move the decimal point over 2 places to basically get 2 times y minus 6. Now I'm going to take 100 times 0.10, meaning I'm going to take this decimal, move it 2 places, that's going to get for me 10y. Next, I have the equal sign. If I take 100 times 0.08, I move the decimal point 2 places. By the way, if you want to just take 100 times 0.0 in your calculator, you'll get the same result. It'll give me 8y. And then, and if you want to get negative 0.2, multiply that by 100. Well, we can't move it to second place here, so we put a second 0, and that's going to give you minus 20. So at this point, we have gotten all the decimals of this cleared out. So now we can just go ahead and solve it like any other equation. So it's going to be 2 times here, so I'm going to distribute first. So it'll be 2y minus 12 plus 10y equals 8y minus 20. I'm going to move the variables to the other side here. I'm going to move this number to that side. So this will be 2y plus 10y minus 8y, moving this here, equals negative 20 minus 12. Combining all this together, 2y plus 10y is 12y, minus 8y is 4y. Negative 20 minus 12 is negative 32. And then if I divide both sides by 4, I'm going to get y is equal to negative 8. And that's going to work out to be the solution in question 5. Now, when you look online to do your homework, you're going to see that there'll be similar questions, so these techniques will be very helpful, but the questions are not going to be exact. So let's go ahead and take a look now at question 8. No, not question 8. Actually, not any questions on this page. I'm going to be looking at questions. It's going to be question 13. That's going to be asked here. And if you take a look at this here, you notice that all these decimals, like this to the nearest tenth, this to the nearest tenth, this to the nearest tenth, and this is to the nearest tenth. So we have 0.3x plus 0.3 equals 0.9x minus 0.9. So everything is to the nearest tenth, so I can multiply everything by 10. In doing so, is going to move the decimal point over 1, 1, 1, 1, giving me 3x plus 3 equals 9x minus 9. Moving everything over to its respective opposite side, I get a 3x minus 9x equals negative 9 minus 3, giving me negative 6x equals negative 12. And then dividing both sides by negative 6, I'm going to get x is equal to 2, because the negative divided by negative is positive. So I hope you find that little technique in working with decimals helpful. There are other places online, I'm sure you can find videos that show that technique. But what I'd like to do at this point is make this kind of a shorter video and just take a look at the last few questions that are going to appear on your homework. Okay. In question 14, it says, write the following phrase as an algebraic expression. Use x for the unknown number. A number subtracted from 10. So we talked about this idea in one of the earlier videos. Since we're going to be subtracting, or subtracted from negative 10, since we're going to be subtracting, we're going to create a space to put what we're working with. And because it's subtracted from, we're going to flip everything around. So this number is going to be x subtracted from negative 10. So I'm putting negative 10 here, and then I'm going to put the number here. So if you want to watch my video from section 2.1, it goes over that technique in a little more detail. But when you have the phrase subtracted from, you end up taking whatever is here and then switching the order as we did in this. So this is going to be negative 10 minus x. Number 15, write the phrase as a variable expression. Okay? The product of 4 and the sum of a number and 10. Now, this one is a little more complicated. So let's pick this apart. So we have the product of. So we know we're going to be multiplying two things together. So I'm going to create space to do that multiplication out. So it says the product of 4. Now, when we say the product of, like the and becomes like product of this and that. So the product of this and then whatever this is. So it's a product of negative 4. And then what is this? That's like another kind of sentence in a sentence. The sum of a number and 10. So what's this sum going to be? So I'm going to basically kind of have two things I'm putting here. The sum of what? A number. A number and 10. And because this is multiplication, though, what's going to happen is the product of this and a number and 10, I'm going to need to put parentheses around that expression. So that is how question 15 is going to get done. Let's take a look at 16 now, final question here. A plot of land is in the shape of a triangle. If one side is x meters, the second side is 2x plus 3 minus 3 meters, and the third side is 7x minus 5 meters, express the perimeter of the lot as a simplified expression in x. So in other videos I've shown where if you know you're going to find the perimeter of something, I think I included something like this in section 2.1. Since we were finding a perimeter, we're going to just create a space to be able to add all the three elements, and then we'll simplify from there. So I'm creating the space to put each of them. So we'll start here with 2x minus 3. Here's going to be x, and here is 7x minus 5. 2x plus 3x plus 7x, that's 10x. And then negative 3 minus 5 is going to be negative 8. So the final perimeter of this lot is going to be 10x minus 8. And then, yes, the unit for that is going to be meters. So I hope you find these videos helpful. Section 2.4 will be coming up soon.